It's amazing what rejection can do, especially to two ladies last night. Welcome to Setting Ash Reloaded.
An argument ends with two women stabbed in Brooklyn.
And one of them has died, and now the search is on for the suspects responsible. Eyewitness News reporter Reagan Medji is live at the scene. Reagan, what can you tell us in Park Slope?
Yeah, I can tell you that two 19-year-old girls were stabbed after an argument early this morning. One 19-year-old girl has died. A second 19-year-old girl is in the hospital recovering from her injuries. This over an argument, and it happened just before 2:30 this morning. I'm going to step out of the way. It happened at this deli. You can see police are still on the scene trying to piece it all together. We are located in Park Slope at the corner of 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place. Again, police say this all took place right before 2:30 this morning. A 19-year-old was killed and stabbed in the neck and chest. A second 19-year-old woman was stabbed in the arm and is in stable condition. One witness says they were with the women at a party and ended up at this deli. The witness explains that's when a man came up to the two and made several advances, but the women turned him down. Now, the witness, who did not want to show their face on camera, explains when the conversation turned violent.
They're not sober. They get rejected and they just escalated tenfold. Like, we was all having a good night before this. We just had left and we went to the store to get food. We was all getting sandwiches or like beef patties just to eat. We're hungry. We want to go home, and this happens.
Now, the two teens who were stabbed, taken to New York Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital. One of the teens did not survive. The other one is in stable condition. Both men took off, and police are now looking for them. So the police are on the scene again. We are in Park Slope, Brooklyn, on the corner of 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place, and that stabbing happening right behind me at the deli. We're live here in Park Slope. Reagan Medji, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
I don't know what would convince a person to attack women to the point where now one is no longer here and another is now sitting in the hospital injured. There's a couple of things, man. And I know people aren't going to like what I'm about to say, and some will like what I'm about to say. The day and age of women not being able to walk around without firearms should be over. I know it's New York, and I know New York is one of the dumbest states when it comes to firearms, and I know that we see constantly on a daily that, firearms and all this stuff are up. It's really not. As far as the crimes and deaths and all that, it's actually gone down over the last 2 years. So please don't believe what you said. You can search the numbers, or you can stay to the end, and I can actually show you on a nice article that was written. Because one of the things that happens is when you have the ability to defend yourself, the bully typically stops. If those women would have been strapped, for lack of better words, they would have had a fighting chance. See, one of the things that we've done in this society is grant a lot of independence to a lot of people. Women, minorities, and et cetera, but we haven't often given them the full rights to defend themselves. I would ask any single woman, with no disrespect in how I say this, why would you stay in a state that you cannot own a firearm and carry it around you? These women did not deserve what happened to them. I don't care what pops out on the video. It was two guys. All the blame goes to the attacker, but partial of the blame, a percentage of the blame, has to go to the friend that was there. There's two guys on the run, which means you had a friend who had the ability to tell you, come on, man, let's go. Come on, man, let's go. What are you doing? I think of the person who sat there and ran off with that guy. I'm sorry, but to any friend that I have, if you pull out a knife and stab somebody, especially a woman, and I run with you, they're going to find you up the road with that knife used on you. But to the man that actually did it, do you realize how low and pathetic that actually is? There's zero excuse for that. Zero. I just look at certain things that goes on these days, and I wonder how it is you guys can't get laid, can't get a girlfriend, can't figure it out sometimes. Maybe it's lack of ambition. Maybe you believe that you really cannot do, quote unquote, the impossible. I have no idea. But what I can say is this. Whatever happens to that man, I hope the worst for him. But sure to keep your people aware, this will be the type of content we'll be running on Reloaded, because life has lessons, and sometimes we need to go back to school.